Oh, what is up, everyone? Happy to see you. Happy to see you all. It's been nice chatting with you and all that sort of business. But we are here, and once again, I have to recrop Zeph because the Skype call messed up in the middle of the start. How you doing, Zeph? Can you talk to us while I fix up your Skype call window?
I mean, I guess I can. I'm doing pretty good. I'm
Okay.
pretty hyped. We're in the semifinals here of VSL. Fantastic privilege to be casting this. Yesterday we had some sick games.
Mm-hmm.
Some fantastic performances from both Rogue and Hero taking 3-0 sweeps in their series. So almost like a bit of an upset in those as well because it was so one-sided.
It was a bit one-sided, which was unfortunate. We're going to hope for a little bit better of, well, closer series, not better series. The series weren't bad. They were just not close.
Yeah. Yeah, no, they were definitely good matches. The PvP especially was pretty lit.
Thanks for using modern vernacular there, Zeph.
I'm trying not. I'm trying to be hip, man.
Yeah, no, you nailed it. You nailed it. We're convinced that you're
Thanks.
very young and very hip and cool, and you probably have lots of friends and a very, very interesting sex life. It's very, very good. That aside, we are here. It has begun. Looks like the Korean studio has. I'm actually here in Seoul, Korea, but luckily I have the pane behind me is actually soundproof glass, so all of the hype that's going on now, the Korean commentators, I'm not hearing any of it. So that's it's a really nice of VSL to put me up here in their studio, and it's a very comfortable spot. It's strangely enough they have the exact same chair that I use at home for my streams at home. Really weird, but very comfortable. It even has the same shape of my body that I nestle straight into. It's like I've been here all along. Really are accommodating.
I'm jealous, man. I need one of them comfy chairs.
Well, you don't have a comfy chair?
No, I don't. This thing is like 8 years old or something. It's got no like squishiness left in it. It's kind of
Yeah.
like sitting on a wooden plank.
Wow, that's really bad for your spine and your butt.
Yeah, I'm getting some good old nerd posture, that's for sure.
It's got to be shaped like the top part of the question mark.
Yeah, that's probably pretty accurate.
Nice, I like it. The old nerd back, the letter C. All right, so our first match of the day is going to be Zest versus Impact. Let's talk about that series a little bit. Now, I was looking into these players preparing for the tournament, as I often do because I am a professional. Anyway, but I was looking into the players in all seriousness, and Zest has actually never lost to Impact in a tournament ever. Did you see that?
No, but that really doesn't surprise me because of how dominant Zest has been for so long. That said, though, he's looking a little less immortal these days. He is almost in a slump, I would say. Like, he hasn't been the Zest of old,
No, I
as
agree.
of late.
I think if anything's going to upset this immaculate record that Zest has against Impact, it's going to be today's Impact, because this kid's been on a tear. He's really been lighting it up. As Zeph would say, he's been pretty lit, fam. He's sorry, I try really hard to keep a straight face when I say dumb stuff, but yeah, my mask is shredding. So we have you know, Impact's been looking really great. If you look at his match history, he's been slaying nerds left and right. But he is, you know, again, Zest does seem to have a block for him historically. But I think that today, if any, I'm actually picking Impact to win this one. Do you agree?
Yeah, me too, actually. I think Impact has really come into his own in the recent months. He's been putting on fantastic performance, looking really solid, well-rounded in all the matchups. So I definitely do sort of favor him here. Not to count out Zest at all. We definitely learned some lessons yesterday, so maybe not giving enough credit where it was due and then seeing some 3-0s. I think Zest will definitely give him a run for his money.
Do you know what, do you know what happens a lot? I count Zest out, and then he makes me look like a dickhead. And it happens a lot. Like, actually, it was
Isn't
the very
that
much.
just how
I actually
Jarvis
cast
classes?
the top part of the round of 8. I actually cast it with Rifkin, and it was a Zest match.
Right.
Pretty sure. It was the Zest qualification, like his best of 5. It was a lot of Proteras. It was like Forte and 3 Protosses, and
Right.
Zest was just like, you know, it was amongst that sort of the fervor of him starting to lose against people you don't expect him to lose to, and everyone's like, huh, looks like he's not as invulnerable as we once thought, and looks like he's not the best Protoss in the world anymore. And then he just like crushed. And it didn't crush, but game 1 was a crushing, and then Zest actually like had some really close games and ended up winning in a close series, but it showed that he was like a master of PvP. You know, not PvP tonight. It's PvZ.
Yeah, he hasn't really had to go through Zergs yet in this tournament, so I guess it'll be a good marker to see how his PvZ is actually faring at the moment. In PvP, I feel like I would definitely favor Zest, but yeah, this is going to be Zergs, and that's all that's left, actually, ladies and gents. Zergs and Protosses.
Zergs and Protosses. So we could potentially have a ZvP, PvP, or a ZvZ final. We'll see how that lines up. Shout out to Too Early For Me for subscribing for 22 months in a row to BaseTradeTV. That is pretty amazing. Also, I have to scroll up and give a shout out to another guy that subbed while we went live. My man, Colt. Q-O-L-T. Ooh. Hello, Greencast. How you doing? So we're getting intermittent sounds here and there. Looks like they're showing off the players. I actually might full screen this.
Please do.
Impact and... Ooh, a juicy disruptor hit. The man with a plan. A chin that you could carve a roast on. That is Zest. God, that jawline. Sharper than your wit, Zeph.
Oh, wow. That is pretty sharp.
That is pretty sharp. Yeah, I wasn't kidding.
Yeah, you see all those wins over Protosses there for Zest. Impact had a little bit more variety in his matches. I'm actually very impressed that he took out Biel there. That is no small feat.
Yeah, that's actually a huge deal there, to be able to do that. So, speaking of Biel, Hero, I was looking at Hero's matches, and OSC Roots Hero has 3-0 Biel, like quite recently in the GSL Super Tournament. So, it makes me a little worried for Rogue. Just a little bit.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm done saying that I'm ever going to be worried about Rogue again for this season, because he crushed yesterday.
You have to admit that his series against Patience was pretty convincing.
Yeah. So I'm actually really keen to see him go up against Hero later on today, because they both 3-0'd their matches in a total stomp. It's just such an impressive series for both those guys. So that'll be exciting for later, but at the moment, we're about to get started for Impact vs Zest.
Yep, that's Impact on screen there. Previously, Axiom. Go on, Zeph.
Yeah.
You were going to say we've been given something?
We're given the advantage to Impact in this series.
I think so.
And I'm kind of waiting to be proven wrong, because that seemed to be the theme for yesterday.
Yeah. I think we actually did something that's pretty difficult, where you get every single prediction wrong. That's actually quite hard to do. That's like rolling 1 on the dice, 6 or 7 times in a row.
True, I guess. It is a bit of a caster curse thing there. Any prediction you make goes the opposite direction. So I guess we'll see what happens.
Oh, looks like the match is about to start. Impact looks like he's trying to relax, but he doesn't seem super relaxed. Zest, however, he looks like he's ready to snap someone's neck and then rip their head off and drink their blood. That's what Zest looks like right now. He's just
standard Zest.
Standard Zest, yeah. If you like watch the any of the televised Zest matches where he is in a final or towards the end of the final, he does have that killer face, that killer look. Makes you very scared to play him in any kind of 1v1 game.
Indeed. So Newkirk Precinct here is our first map. Maynard, we might need to sync game clocks here real quick.
Yeah, we might have to. All right. So, what's your clock at?
My clock is at 30 seconds at the moment.
Jesus. All right, pause. God.
Yeah, I figured I was a fair bit ahead here. Sorry, guys. Since it's a live feed, we have to sync up a little bit.
So I'm at 23. Are you still paused?
Yeah, I'm paused at 33.
All right. When I get to 33, I'll say now you unpause.
Okay, sounds good to me. Alrighty. So because VSL do their introductions lightning fast, we didn't get a chance to jump in there. So just quickly in the bottom left, it is the blue Protoss Zest. And of course, in the bottom right, we have the red Zerg Impact. Yep.
And it looks like Impact's trying to get a hatchery. Zest being a little bit annoying with this probe, just delaying that hatchery a little bit. Looks like he's drawing a low polygon head to try and stop that hatchery from going down, but it will go down.
Yeah. being a bit of a pest here in the early game.
Yeah.
Looks like he's trying to go for round 2, actually.
Well, yeah, because Impact's, you know, he's a pro gamer, he doesn't want to waste money, so he's actually decided to get the pool first and the hatchery and that sort of thing. Sorry, the pool and the gas instead of the hatchery. So he had to wait a little bit longer to get the minerals for that expansion.
Yeah, for sure. And he's on gas there as well to get himself a bit of speed down the track. As you know, Zest might decide to head across the map with an adept or two for some early game harass. We'll see what he throws out, but keen to see what strategies he's choosing. Is he the kind of guy that is loving the adepts like all the other Protosses at the moment? I would assume so.
He does, but against Zerg, I'm not too sure. He used to be the guy that always Archon dropped, like always. We'll see if that's the case again. I think he changed it up a bit last PVCs I saw. This does kind of look, you know, it's a single gate expand. It can lead into Stargate, which is also popular in Newkirk Precinct because, you know, Stargates in general, pretty good against Zerg. And with close air distance, the Oracle can get a bit of hurt on before there's too much defense. So could possibly be the option here for Zest as that gas climbs up.
Yeah, for sure. I think I have seen him go for the Oracle option a couple of times recently as well, so maybe he has moved away from that Archon drop type style for the moment.
Yeah, there's a Stargate there.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Been playing some Protoss, F. So.
Yeah, today was your last Protoss day, wasn't it?
It was. I did a bunch of all-ins, got like 100 MMR, and then called it a day.
Got a promotion, I saw that.
I did get a promotion, yeah. Got promoted.
Living the cheese dream.
Yeah. Had a little bit of a glitch in the Matrix there, but looks like the video's still on. Lings coming into the natural of Zest, pretty annoying. Looks like they're trying to get a probe or two. I don't know if we'll be able to see a probe go down, though, because, you know, it is Zest after all. He's pro gamer. Normally they're pretty good at microwing their probes.
Yeah, he's also a little bit distracted with the Adept on the other side of the map as well, trying to keep both sets of Lings alive.
Oh, does get a probe. Wow. A little bit of sloppiness there from Zest. And this is fast Overlord speed here for Impact. So this could mean Overlord drop. It also could just mean that he's a safe, like he's a Zerg that just values information and wants to get as much information. No, I think it is a drop. He's getting the Evo chamber. So.
Yep. I was going to say Impact has been sneaking that in a little bit lately. And that might be a nice move. He's just going to not be spotted by that Stargate. Is he going to get through this wall? He's just barely going to sneak through.
He's going to get a probe too.
Another probe.
Yep.
Very nicely done.
Really awkward start here for Zest, and Impact just getting chips of damage there that are actually quite, you know, rare to see in the early stages. Zest is getting a Phoenix after this Oracle here, so he will be able to shoo away Overlords. That's good for him if this Overlord drop, you know, if he gets too invested in this Overlord drop tech and it gets shut down. But we have a Twilight Council follow-up as well.
Alrighty, so we might see some Adept upgrades come out of that in a second. At the moment, though, the Oracle is going to start picking off some drones, gets 4 kills and floats away before its shields completely run out.
Yeah, it's a nice bit of damage there.
Whoa, gotta be a big careful with that
Zest, whoa.
Zest, please.
Dude, bro. What is happening in this game, Zeph? Maybe, I mean, his attention is clearly elsewhere. He's trying to get a third down here, probably looking at that. We saw a drop Overlord finish, and I think that he tried to drop into the main. The Observer actually may have missed this drop Overlord completely. I'm guessing that's what Zest was dealing with while that Oracle died.
Yeah, it must have been. Something's distracted him. I mean, he knows that Lings are coming across the map as well to try and pressure on this third. He gets another 3 probe kills. He's got like, what, 5 or 6 probes this game just with these tiny little Ling attacks?
What's happened to Zest, man? This is not a Zest game. This is really not very good, but, you know, hopefully he can reel it in. Getting chip damage there and there.
Maybe his hands are cold or something.
Maybe. Must be cold hands.
Yeah, it's not what I expect to see from him. But at least he's able to clean up some of these Overlords with the Phoenix that he has out. He has established his third, and he's getting the Glaze upgrade there for the Adepts. Impact similarly, though, is starting to tech up, and we see the composition starting to round out for him. It looks like maybe that Ling Hydra Bane composition we've seen a bit of.
Yeah, and with Dropperlords and Overlord speed, you have the ability to be able to Bane Rain gateway units as well, which is also fantastic. I mean, a lot of Protoss, when they push out, they like to have sentries, or, you know, even just dropping on top of Adepts. Really, really fantastic. Negates the whole, like, you know, negates Adepts microing against them and being able to shade away and that sort of thing. You can actually chase them down and Bane Rain. It's pretty nice. Yeah. Impact gearing up for defense here, and actually looks like Zest might be able to get some damage done. This is quite a lot of Adepts.
It sure is, and some of the Lings of Impact are actually on this other side of the map. We've got a Spine Crawler building at the front here, but the Adepts are shaded in. Already the drones have been evacuated, and the Queens are being used here just to deflect this, but of course with the shades, He has a lot of maneuverability.
A lot of the shades are going to finish on these banelings. Oh, no, he cancels on that shade. Smart play there to cancel that shade by Zest. Reinforcing with some more adepts. The banelings are rolling in. He's getting into the back corner. I don't know if this is enough banelings to seal the deal, especially if Zest splits well. Shade finishes for some of the adepts. A couple of them stick behind, but he's going into the natural, getting more drone kills.
Yeah, he's actually not got a lot of beef left on the ground to deal with these adepts. It's just lings. The queens are a little too slow to waddle up here, and he has to lose some more mining time pulling those drones away. But again, he shades into the main. He's just all over the place. There is a spine crawl in the main, though, to help deal with this.
Yeah.
Because Impact knows this is fairly slippery to deal with.
Impact is going to clean this up, and all in all, losing 4 drones for that many adepts, not too bad. He's on 41 drones, though. He took a lot of drone damage earlier on. So Zest's economy really has picked up since the early game damage, and he has absolutely pulled his head in and recovered. And this is looking like a strong position for Zest as those 6 gateways go down. Another drop overlord coming in.
Yeah, Impact did load that up in the top left of the map. He's going to try and swing into the natural by the looks of it, and at the same time hit the third with the lings that are rallying from his other faces. In fact, there's a banelings and so many probes going down. Oh my god.
And target fires the low hit point probes as well. Brilliant move there from Impact. An entire mineral line of probes evaporates from this drop overlord. And so much for that huge econ advantage of Zest. I mean, he still does have one, but not that much the case anymore. Impact's making a lot of Zerglings. He's trying to make some drones as well with the lava, getting a macro hatch up in the main.
He's done well so far. I think Impact's drone count's probably not quite where he wants it to be just yet, but he's continuing to pressure Zest this whole time. These Phoenixes trying to get rid of these overlords, but it's not able to kill it before the lings start to unload in the main. A couple of adepts should make short work of that, though. At the same time, though, he's attacking again into the third.
Where is Zest's mothership core?
That is actually a very good question.
I haven't seen it.
Did he make one?
Yeah, that's actually just. This is something that I would never wonder for a pro gamer to not make, but I was concerned for Zest in this game. But anyway, we have a bit of a defense here. Not against 4 adepts, though. You can get a fair bit of damage done. Spine crawler takes a while. Adepts quite tanky. Oh, prism range, get in there. Gets 3 of the adepts out of there. One of them dies, and he does keep the prism. Nice move from Zest.
Yeah, 1 adept for 6 drones, not too bad at all there. He's trying to push at the front here. Again, he's got a lot of sentries, and bear in mind there's no ravages or anything out on the map, so force fields will do a good job for him here in keeping those banelings away from the gateway force. Looks like he's going to try and use the drop overlords here in the engagement there.
And this is what I was talking about. When you get the drop overlords, they have speed and they have banelings in them. You want to get those sentries. Get rid of those sentries, no force fields, guardian shields, all those things that make things trickier for the Zerg to be able to crush this force. Go away. But look at Zest pre-splitting already. Great positioning here from Zest. Look how split his Protoss units are. This is like a Terran pre-split with Marauders and Marines.
And Impact realizes he just can't fight that. He needs a better position if he's going to run into there. He's also waiting for his Bane speed and +1 missile attacks to kick in. So he just abandons that base, moves to what should be his 4th base, and he's just waiting for a prime position for Zest to move into before he can actually do anything about this. But Zest, this army is actually pretty beefy.
It is pretty beefy. We got some Ling harassment happening on the other side of the map, but hold that thought. Looks like nearly a big engagement there from Impact, but he's being so patient. He's just waiting for as many units as possible. Ling's Hydra's on the way. Another hatchery to the north. He's retaking his 3rd to the north here. So if he cleans this up, he can potentially recover, but he's going to be fair bit down. He's taken a lot of damage from Zest so far. Losing that hatchery was pretty critical damage. But we're not going to call him out just yet. Impact rolls in. The force fields from Zest are pretty fantastic, keeping those banelings away from the Protoss army.
Oh, beautifully done. And there's still so much Protoss here. Most of the banelings have gone down already. There's just Hydras and Queens left. And while they do a lot of damage, there's a lot of Protoss left on the ground here.
Oh, he doesn't have enough Hydras to target that prism, and this reinforcement of Zest is going to seal the deal. GG. Wow. A really, really awful early game for Zest. Turns into a win in the end there. Made all the right decisions from the mid-game onwards.
Beautifully done. Zest really getting into the swing of things towards the mid-game there and showing his strength. Told you, man. Anytime we start to shift towards one player and say, oh, maybe they're a little favored, the other player really stressed their stuff. So hopefully this will be a long series.
I hope so. I mean, Impact had the showings there of being able to take Zest out. He did a lot of really great things. That Bane Rain on the natural base, killing 16 probes. His early Lings getting early game probes, which is unheard of. Zest losing his Oracle, his first Oracle out of his first Stargate, to a Queen. Like, this is stuff that normally a Zerg can capitalize on, but, I mean, Zest's such a monster. He managed to pull it together and really have a strong mid-game and just crush Impact with a force that Impact was just not ready for.
Yeah, that was very well executed. He had the most beautiful force fields in that engagement as well. So, yeah, I'm keen to see what Game 2 is going to look like, given that performance. The early game was just so uncharacteristically rusty for Zest, but credit to Impact being able to find all these ways of doing little bits of damage early on.
Yeah, real credit to him. I mean, he has been on a tear. He's been looking so fantastic lately. Game 1... For the first half of Game 1, it looked like he was really in charge of that Nuco Precinct, but yeah, I mean, the follow-up attack, he just wasn't ready for it. Some Adept harassment getting a lot of his drones as well. Possibly could have been the upset there. It's hard to tell. I mean, we're not pro gamers. We don't know the highest level of StarCraft like these guys do. But certainly looked like Impact wasn't ready. Belcher Vestige is going to be the next map here for this series. Zest currently 1-0 up. Oh my god, triggered every time of these slow banelings rolling into these siege tanks. And the Zerg wins the fight. Fuck my life.
That I literally had a moment like that today and I just GG'd and left.
So you should.
Loaded into the map now though, and in the bottom right it's Impact.
Still looks a little bit jittery. And in the top left here, this is Zest. Body rocking in his chair a little bit there. So,
getting comfy.
Let's do the game clock sync up. I had a little bit of a hiccup in the last game. What are you at?
37.
Perfect. That'll do. I mean, I'm ahead by a second, but...
Oh my god, 1 whole second?
Yeah, I need the extra second to keep up with you, Zeph. So Hatch first here from Impact. A little bit dangerous in this map. You can be proxied on it, but... and Zest has been known to throw in a cheese game in his series.
Yeah. I sort of wonder if Impact will try for that Ling drop strategy again. Because he didn't really get to do it in the last game until later on because of the Stargate opener from Zest. So in that sense, it was a really nice opening choice for Zest in that Stargate tech. But would love to see a little bit more of that because there are some nice sort of blind spots where you can drop those Lings.
Yeah, it's the way the main's set up. There is definitely a nice little shady bit that you can drop into. That's you know, pretty handy. It's you can catch the Protoss unawares, but good Protosses normally do spread pylons around, so it's not something you see too often.
Yes, indeed. So we'll see what both these players throw out. I kind of like how Impact plays as a Zerg because he's not afraid of doing his own thing and kind of trying to steer the pace of the game and, you know, throw a spanner in the works for his opponent, while a lot of other Zergs, you know, they're more reactive, they'll sit back, whereas Impact is a little more aggressive, I feel, or he's not afraid to do one of those wonky sort of strats every now and then. So I think it makes it a bit more interesting to watch him in a ZvP, and maybe one of the reasons why he's been doing so well lately.
Yeah, that's right. Impact pretty scary in his ZvP matchups. Pretty quick Twilight Council there for Zest. He has in the past been the guy that just really does love Archon drops. This could also be a... oh, actually he makes a Stalker after his Adept. I was going to say, if he made a second Adept, I was thinking maybe like, you know, a Glaive attack or quick Resonating Glaives, but...
Yeah, something like early Glaives. And if he follows up with a Robo, he could Warp Prism those in and be extra annoying. I guess the other option could be DTs, although I'm not sure if he has enough gas. Dude, something like that at the moment.
Dude, can you believe it? Rifkin has subscribed to BaseTradeTV for 23 whole months.
Wow. What a passion, Lord. So dedicated.
Yeah, it's pretty sick. Good support there, Rifkin. Thank you for helping out our channel. Anyway, and there is the Resonating Glaive, so this is looking like a, you know, a big Adept attack. Oh, well, I mean, yeah. You could just be getting it to just, you know, have stronger Adepts for a little while, but certainly I'm expecting to see a few more Gateways drop soon.
Yeah, if you're churning that out first thing, I mean, you're going to want to use it ASAP, right?
Yeah. It's kind of a waste of money if you don't use it, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, it's kind of not because it's a helpful upgrade, it makes your Adepts better, but it's nice to hit with timings to be as efficient as possible. That's why timings exist. But we'll see. Overlord in the main, something that Zest can't really deal with because he has no anti-air apart from overcharged pylons.
Got one stalker in there. The speed kicks in for the Overlords. We've got the Evo Chamber coming up behind this, so drops are once again an option. And he sees the Chrono on that Twilight Council. He should be pretty comfortable in the knowledge that that's probably the Adept upgrade. So he should be well prepared for any sort of pressure coming out from Zest here. Impact himself is starting to head into his lair tech, but I guess he'll probably be sticking on that sort of melee-focused army for the moment.
Yeah, Ling and Bane usually can help you out in the early game against big Adept numbers, but didn't actually pay attention. Did Impact make a Baneling Nest?
I don't think he has yet.
No, okay. Well, even just straight huge numbers of Lings can still hold against this. It's going to go for a Roach Warren instead. Interesting. So this is a little bit different than the meta in your regular ZvP, and he is going to go for the drop play again.
Yeah, I think I like the choice of the Roach Warren here, actually. Gives him a bit more beef, and also last game he really struggled against the force fields of Zest. He just did that so beautifully. So Warp Prism Harass is just about ready to go. He's going to shade his first for Adepts here into the natural, see what he can find.
Please don't let it finish. Oh god, Zest.
Oh,
I mean, he can help pick up with his Prism, but no, wow. Okay, no, he lost 2 of them before he picked it up there.
Yeah. Well, he scouts the Roach Warren there. The Warp Prism hasn't taken any damage yet. It's going to head over into the 3rd base, but Impact is pretty on top of this right now, and now that Warp Prism's kind of stuck in between those 2 bases for the moment, so he's going to have to wait till Impact is a little distracted, but Impact is going to give Zest a taste of his own medicine.
Now, I did mention that Protosses like to put pylons on the edge of their ramp, but the Mothership Core is not here, and Zest trying to drop a bunch of gateways to get those Adepts up in number, but Impact hitting nice and early here with these Lings. The probes being pulled off. Nice control from Zest there to keep the Lings away from the mineral line, and they're in the natural now. Defensive warping of Adepts. Again, wondering where the Mothership Core is. She must be at the 3rd. And Zest's actually moving out with some Immortals and Sentries.
Yeah, he's looking for the push. He's pretty confident with cleaning this up for the moment. That's not that many Lings, and with the Adepts that he has in his bases, that's more than enough to defend with. And now the Warp Prism's going to move over to this army, warp in more sentries, and this is a beautiful spot for the Protoss to push. It gives them a choke. We've got a Spinecrawler coming down for Impact. He's got a couple of Ravages. That's going to help him out against these force fields, but he doesn't have a lot of units yet.
Yeah, not too many. A run by here at the 3rd, but Overcharge does come down. There's that Mothership Core. And with this Prism to help out, and Zest just drop a ton of gateways, he can absolutely reinforce this and make a huge attack here against the 3rd base of Impact. Impact picks up the Lings, he gets deflected there, Blink on the way on the Twilight Council. Impact still with these run-bys, trying to get anything he can get done. Just a couple probes damage now. And Zest is going for a 2nd robotics facility, or did he lose his first one?
That should be a 2nd one.
Wow, nice run by here.
Oh,
the Mothership Core does have energy. There's the Overcharge.
Finally some success there, and I think he was a little distracted there trying to get rid of the other Overlord, which is still sliding around the main base trying to drop some Lings somewhere. So Zest's attention has been split in about 3 places for the moment, trying to push and trying to defend in a couple of locations at once. And I gotta say, all in all, he has done a really good job of it, inevitably losing some probes here though.
Yeah, I mean, Impact's using a bit of his army, but luckily it is just Lings and they are so expendable, and he's getting a fair bit of worker damage done. He's actually evened up the worker count here, which actually isn't super great for Impact. You want to be seeing a few more drones than that, but he is producing quite a few units. Looks like he's going to go for a big attack here. Moving through the middle of the map, 7 more Roaches on the way, morphing some Ravages, plus 1 attack about just over halfway done, and getting some more Dropper Lords as well.
Yeah, so that's got a little bit of time before it kicks in, but you're absolutely right. This is a big push. We don't have a 4th base coming down or anything, so he really needs to get something done here with this Roach Ravager force. We have the Warp Prism coming in behind this, though, to wreak some havoc. Impact has thought about this. He's dropped some extra spores, and he's got some units to defend, but those were really nice force fields there. Can he save these units in time?
The Biles are helping out. He's trying to save as many units as he can, but Zest actually got a great trade there, getting a few Roaches and a Ravager as well. The Biles nicely used by Impact to try and save those units, but, you know, as you guys may or may not know, they do clean up the force fields. Trying to get this Observer here, but it's a tough ask for Ravagers. We have some units being dropped here into the main.
Yeah, see the results of that in the units lost tab, I think, because we still have the attack going on the right side. Looks like Impact's actually backed up there, though. Is getting a couple of probes here, but that cannon bought Zest a lot of valuable time.
Yeah, Zest's not taking too much probe damage. He's just losing 2 now. That cannon helping out a ton there, giving him the time. But Impact manages to roll up into the high ground, and now Zest has to retreat while Impact can decide whether he wants to attack the natural or third. Looks like he is going to try and bile that third. Some biles connecting with the sentry stand, not quite killing them. And this is very tough for Zest here, having to deal with this Zerg army right up here in his face.
Yeah, he's got the concave, but he can get sandwiched between 2 awkward spots here. He's sort of attacking in 2 locations at once with his army, trying to keep a hold of this high ground. But Zest is moving forward. That's a lot of immortals in the mix.
Yeah.
And the force fields are good as well. That army is getting so low. Impact is starting to lose a lot of units here.
Oh yeah, Impact overextended here. Zest manages to clean him up. He's making a bunch of roaches back at home to deal with the counterattack because he knows that Zest is going to smell blood in the water and try and use this advantage to end the game right now. Impact's trying to get an infestation pit up. It could help him out here, but will he be able to live long enough for it to come into play is the big question here. I'm wondering. Zest has a ton of probes, with 61 probes. He just needs to make units now and go for a big attack. And that was actually, during that attack, really nice micro from Zest to keep those immortals alive with that prism.
Oh yeah, beautifully done. And now Impact is on struggle street because he's got that 3 base production. He's matching the Protoss in the base count, and Zest's army just looks so much stronger right now. So as long as Zest doesn't get into an awkward position, he's still got a lot of firepower with this force. It looks like Impact has managed to get just enough units to make Zest think twice here, though.
Yeah, he is getting some time to get that pathogen glands upgrade for the infestors. They'll be making infestors when that pathogen glands upgrade is nearly finished to make sure they pop out with that extra energy. And Zest in the middle of the map. This is giving Impact time to get the units that he needs. He's also getting +2 attack. That's going to be a while. Burrow as well for his units.
Yeah, Burrow will be a good asset, actually.
This is nice.
Wants to use that to micro on the front lines and keep those roaches alive a little longer. He's looking to deny this 4th base. Not going to happen there. I love how he's doing a lot of little backstabs, but Zest is defending really well. He hasn't actually been able to get too much done.
Yeah, Impact just seems to really love run bys. He's been trying to drop in the main ult game, he's been trying to run by the 3rd ult game, and Zest has he's been taking damage here and there, but it's not slowed him down too much. He's still getting his army up, and meanwhile Impact, just with not that much army supply at the moment, just 106 versus the 118 of the Protoss. The Infestors could make a huge difference, though. Don't get me wrong. When those Infestors come out, and especially if the 2 attack upgrades for melee and range finish, that's going to possibly change things in Impact's favor.
Yeah, I think if those Infestors can't work some magic for him, that might be it for Impact, because Zest has 4 bases up and running now, and he's going to do everything in his power to stop Impact from getting his own 4th base. So that essentially leaves him with 1 army to fight with, and if he can't at least cripple Zest, then I think he might have to tap out. But let's see how he goes. He's already going for a big attack on his 4th base.
He's using a bunch of links here to go for an attack, and I don't know about this Zest. He really needs everything he can to win a big fight against Zest right now. You know, losing units at this point when you're a 3-base Zerg against a 4-base Protoss, you can't lose units, I feel. You have to just crush their armies somehow.
Gosh. Look how many sentries that is.
Oh, this is nice. You know, it's a good number of probe kills. But still.
Yeah,
huge engagement here. The Stalker's actually eating a lot of biles on the north. Force fields getting a donut around some of the roaches and the Ravagers in the middle. There is still Infestors here. A Fungal going down, but Impact not being able to combo that with the Corrosive Biles. This could be a good target, though. The Biles going down, not connecting with the sentries that he fungled. A blink forward from Zest, and he is just going to roll on through.
112 army supply with the 62 of Impact. And Zest is just going to punish him now for attempting to take the army on there. A good effort from Impact, but there is so much Protoss left here, so many immortals. And there is the GG. Zest takes the lead with a 2-0 on match point now.
You dare challenge me? Zest is looking so good in this series. Impact, not so much.
No,
the idea behind those Infestors is great. You get a high-tech army that's tough to deal with. You get the Fungals and you lock down, and then you use that lockdown to get those Corrosive Bile connections. But Zest's force fields have been immaculate. Game 1 and Game 2. They were pretty much the game-ending moves. First time we saw force fields in Game 1, it was the game-ending engagement. Game 2, same deal.
Yeah, as well as Impact's been doing lately, I think Zest maybe just has his number, because there's not really been a point where I'm like, oh my god, Zest might lose this game yet in this series.
Well, looks like Hero and Rogue just playing Geometry Dash, just chilling and preparing mentally for their matches, so that's cool to see. A lot of passion in the other semi-finalists.
Yeah, just getting some pre-game chill in. And blame him for that. What's our next map going to be? We're going to find out in a second. And
yeah. Proxima,
ooh,
there you go.
okay.
So Proxima Station, Dust Towers 2.0, the better version of Dust Towers. Gonna come down here. Impact looking a little bit dejected. Zest, emotionless.
Yeah, standard serial killer Zest. He's not rustled by anything. He's here to crush nerds and get to the finals.
Yeah.
He's one game away from doing so.
That's right. He'll kill his friends and not feel bad about it, as long as he gets that final spot. Doesn't bother him at all. Oh, yeah. Another cheer there from the Chosen One NL. Look at this kid. It's raining bits all over SF.
Thank you, friend. Proxima Station, we're loading in, guys. Could possibly be the last map in this series. Hopefully not, though.
It's the Maynard curse.
Points.
That's just nothing but 3 zeros for me every time.
Get it together, mate.
I want Impact to win this map so bad. I really do. I'm going to be biased for Impact here. And the bottom left, the guy that I hope that wins because he's the best. This is Impact.
And his opponent. In the top right, in the blue, this is Zest.
I think we might be really synced up. Let's check. What are you at?
33.
Damn, we're still going. We're synced.
Delicious.
Nice.
Thank you, Base Internet.
Thank you, Internet. Doesn't always work out for us in the island where esports goes to die. Good old Australia.
Hey, man, come on.
That's not completely true. We actually have an IEM coming up.
We do.
Yep. So some love from overseas coming to Australia.
No StarCraft though, so.
Yeah, no StarCraft. Rip. Maybe next year. I'm hearing talks that there may be something in the winds.
Yeah. To be fair, it's hard to find a venue that can fit that much StarCraft 2 passion.
That is true, yeah. It's hard to find an auditorium that'll help out how excited I'll be to cast StarCraft on my own home turf in front of an international audience.
Yeah.
Provided I get hired, of course. They might not want me. They'd be like, yeah, you know, man, it's alright, but we got Zeph, so we're kind of good for local talent.
If only.
Maynard, are you good at running to get coffees for Toastless and Tasteless? I'm like, well, I mean, I did it in 2012. I could probably do it again. So we have a probe scout here from Zest. See what's going on in Impact. Denying the mineral patches, just being a little bit annoying with his extra APM that he has because he's a pro gamer. Got OPM to spare.
Yeah, then we got that forward base for Impact. Smart Cookie gets himself a free third base later on, hopefully. And Zest's going to continue being a pest. He could actually stick around a little longer with the Lings coming out. It's going to be a little tricky, but he could potentially try and block the third hatch as well. And we'll see what tech he drops. It could be a Stargate. He seems to be enjoying
It's very, very common to go for it. Especially if you go for like a an early Nexus build, something like that. But yeah, I'm feeling Stargate again. I think you might be right. He has tucked in that pylon into his Nexus. It's a good spot for it.
I think the opener doesn't really matter though, because I think at the end of the day, the game plan is still upgrade some Adepts and get some Immortals later on. Because he's been doing so well with that Gateway competition.
Zeph, he's making a Zealot in a Twilight Council. Charge lot? Question mark?
Alright, let's see. I mean, he did drop the... Actually, no, last game he made the Stalker instead of the
he cancelled the Zealot.
I figure it was just going to be Adepts again.
Yeah, I think he accidentally made a Zealot. Should pop that Z key off. He doesn't need it.
Yeah, poor Zealot's a little neglected these days.
Yeah. The Adepts, the big sister of the Zealot, just really stealing the show these days. Yeah, Impact running quite heavily here. Just your standard early game Zergish. And a Shrine going down. So, yeah, Archon drop shenaniganry going down. And again, Impact opting for Roach Tech instead of the usual Ling Bane that we see in the early game.
Yeah, and what a great way to go for Zest as well, because now he's done all 3 openers, basically. Gone for Stargate once, Twilight and Robo second time now. The DT opener with a Warp Prism. So if our friend Impact here doesn't have detection ready in time, he could potentially take some losses from invisible units. But his lair is going to be finished by the time those pop out. So maybe we'll be seeing some Cotton Ball fun instead.
Oh, there'll be some Cotton Ball fun. Don't you worry about that. Don't you worry about that, Zeph. We got Lings and units being made here for Impact. He knows about this timing. He's just getting ready for it. It would behoove him to drop spores, and he is starting to drop spores now as I say that. Clever girl.
Didn't opt for the Overlord speed this time around, so he doesn't have quite the scouting capabilities that he did in the early game in the previous 2 matches, but he's still pretty clued in on what's going on. He should be ready to go for this. A few roaches in the production tab, also getting that roach speed in. So really it's just keeping an eye on that Warp Prism.
4 DTs coming in here for a look-see. Spore Crawler is down. 4 DTs can actually do a ton of damage anyway, because even if they have detection, they hit very, very hard. Zest, nearly loses 1 DT there, but I mean, if you lose 1 DT, that's actually really horrible because that's 1 less Archon, which is, you know, a big deal. So he does actually get those Archons made up. They'll pop out with full hit points, and it is harassment time. Second Prism coming out for Zest as well. I love this. You have the APM to do it. This is so effective.
This is the way to go. And Impact is keeping an eye on this 3rd base location as well. He's creeped it up. He's got Lings ready to harass here as well. So Zest has a 3rd place to split his attention to while he does this harassment.
It's just 3 DTs here, so he can't make an Archon just yet. Crossbar's going down, actually nearly hurting his own Spore Crawler there. But this, you know, I just wanted to bring up that creep poop on the 3rd here is really, really nice from Impact. Delaying this Nexus is a great move. It's going to make things tough for Zest to get a strong mid-game after this harassment, even if he gets drone damage, which he hasn't really yet. These Archons haven't done a whole lot, and they're a very, very costly investment.
Yeah, and Impact is actually going to slide on into a Spire after this. Oh, just barely gets there in time. Zealot is the hero of the day there.
Not uncommon to see Spire switch-ups for Zerg after making some roaches. Usually you only see, like, you know, maybe 5 or 6 meters, but that's really all you need. It's for shutting down prisms, maybe doing a bit of probe harassment, and then transitioning into your stronger ground force. You don't really see the giant flocks of meters from back in the day.
Yeah, that's not really a thing anymore. And we can see also the investment is still going to the roaches in terms of upgrades for the time being. And it'll be a bit of a pest with those air units. Double Warp Prism going to try and swing around the back here. Let's see if he goes to the 3rd or the natural.
Keeping the prisms together, which is interesting. I mean, it'll be a strong Archon force, but normally you try and stretch the multitask of your opponent. A lot of roaches here. Queen coming up to help. The Queen looks like she's going to go down to the Archons. Oh God! Oh! My heart.
Oh, please, Zest.
That prism. Very, very low. Those drones quite low as well. Zest getting a little bit of econ damage, but look at the supply. Impact's making nothing but units.
Yeah. Impact actually sits on not that many drones. He's quite often around 50 to 55 when a lot of Zergs try and get up to that 65 to 70, but Zest is harassed. It's so constant that it's hard to think about even a 4th base. We finally see the mutas in the production tab, by the way. There may already be a couple out. But he is moving into a Baneling nest after this as well. Maybe it will just be 3 mutas.
Yeah, looks like it. And really, that's kind of all you need to shut down the prisms. But yeah, I usually, if I was playing Zerg, would like to have 5 or 6, just so that you can, you know, have a few little micro tricks and take out some probes as well for an unsuspecting Protoss. But I doubt Zest is unsuspecting. He has Blink on the way here, +1 just started, so the upgrade's definitely in the Zerg's favor. Just starting to get his ground army production happening here. Obviously, the Archon's going to be a very, very helpful addition to his unit's composition here, along with the Immortals. Very anti-Baneling, which so many Zergs like to have these days. Stalker's already in position.
Yeah. And we have the Overlord speed coming in now. That'll be useful for Overseers, but more importantly, Overlord drops, which Impact has been such a fan of as of late. Gonna be a little tricky to do some damage with them for the moment, because I mean, the mutas can't even get in here to get much done. Maybe a probe here and there.
Yeah. I think the real story is how scary Impact's ground army is now, like his main force. And whether or not Zest will be able to hold against it. Putting these Archons and Immortals, if the engagement does happen and Zest is out of position, it could definitely go in Impact's favor, but I think he can trade very cost efficiently if he's in a choke, if he uses the terrain to his advantage. These Mutas are actually in a lovely hold position here. Their splash damage will kill probes eventually.
Yeah, and this makes it tricky for Zest, who's thinking about a 4th base right now, because Impact is just powering up to maxed out. That's really all he's doing. There we go. Finally, another bunch of drones in the production tab to get that economy really going for the late game. But yeah, he's very close to being maxed out on units at the moment. And those Banelings are starting to morph in for these drones as well.
Because it's Impact, we have to see a Bane rain on the probe line at least once per game. So this is really cool. Obviously, the Banelings don't have central hooks just yet. It's just about to finish. They will have it just in time for this drop, which is fantastic. They can chase the probes so they get pulled back, breaking down these rocks so they can have another attack path into this 4th.
He's about to turn up the heat real high here. And Zest needs to make sure he's in a good position to deal with his army. His army looks so small compared to that of Impact, but it's all about how he uses it.
It's very high-tech, though.
Yeah. All those Archons on the front lines is going to make it really difficult for those Banelings to find any juicy hits.
Zest looking at the minimap. Looks like he's going to lose some probes here.
Very nice.
6 go down to 4 Banelings. Not a bad trade there. Nice move from Impact. Big concave for the Zerg. Overcharges go down. Banelings are rolling on through, and the Archons, 3 of them, disappear here. Looks like a sentry nearly going down. The force from Zest as good as they can be, but he doesn't have any more sentries left. Oh, Impact has so much Zerg units left over, but Zest trading as well as he can. These Immortals being clutch for him. Bile's going to connect on a lot of his units. Oh, missed micro there, a bit by Zest. And Impact's Ravagers can put on more hurt with these Biles, but there's just not enough for them as far as meat shield goes. Also, I don't think he has detection. So this DT is also bullying him back.
The reinforcements from Zest just coming in at the right time there to start deflecting Impact. And Impact, with just Ravagers left, does have to back up. The cannon fodder for that army got all killed off. Otherwise, he might have been able to stay and put on a bit more pressure. But well held by Zest, all things considered. Nice spread, nice force fields, and making the Archons take most of those Baneling hits. So that really wasn't the most cost-efficient exchange it could have been.
Roach Ravager Bane against all these Immortals, Zeph. I just don't know. This composition for Impact looks like it's going to need to be 30 or 40 supply up on Zest's army to be able to kill it. Like, it's just not the right army composition for what Zest has here. But, you know, Impact is transitioning. He has a Hive on the way now. He did make an Infestation Pit. I thought maybe Infestors again. But no, he's going to go into Hive Tech for something else. And I love this decision from Impact. I mean, if he puts an Ultralisk Cavern, I'm just done. I'm going to, throw my headset off and you can solo cast, because he knows that there's a bajillion Immortals, and if he makes Ultras, I'm just like... I mean, he is getting melee upgrades. Oh god, I'm so worried. Please don't make Ultralisks Impact.
Well, we'll see what happens. Maybe we'll see Ultra drops.
Please don't.
Wouldn't that be
Please
fun?
No. Those Ultras aren't going to do well. I don't think they will anyway. I mean, I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. We have Overlord of Impact coming in here with 8 Lings ready to do some drops. There is cannons, though. Makes things a little bit rough. He's going to go into the back natural by the looks of things. Zest already getting his Stargate out. He's ready for, you know, if there's going to be Brutal Lords or something like that. Can start getting up those scary units. Prism going to go down the Mutas. Always a nice pick-off.
Yeah, very nicely done. And he's looking for the sweet spot to drop these Lings. Zest has caught wind of this, though, and he's going to chase that down. So he shouldn't really take too much damage from this attack at the moment. He's posturing into the third with the bulk of his army, though. And I'm not sure if Zest is in position to deal with this.
Observer missed the beginning of that battle, but we're seeing a ton of Banelings still alive for Impact, and they're crashing through. The Archons weren't pulled up together, and Impact actually takes a nice trade, but they're coming up and reinforcing from the 4th. Oh, Impact losing a lot of his army again. That's a ton of gas in those Banelings. And Zest still with an army at the end of the day, and again, Impact needs to pull back. Oh, it looks like a nice depower on the main, actually depowering the Cyber Core, and a Great Aspire going from Impact. What an intelligent Zerg to not drop that Ultra Cavern.
He's going to be able to kill that core, right? Surely not.
Oh my god, he's going to get it. That's actually a reasonably big deal. There's no more Stargates or anything like that until that core's finished. Fleet Bacon going down. Some air bacon.
Well, He has got charge loss. Those have been helping out a little bit to clean up the forces once the banelings are gone. But this army composition from Impact, the thing that bothers me about it is it's quite gas heavy because it's got roaches, ravagers, and banelings. And I feel like every time he attacks, it's supposed to be that like one big push that just crushes your opponent so badly that they can't get enough reinforcements to survive. But Zest has done a fantastic job of staying alive so far, and now he's continuing to tech up, continuing to get lots of upgrades here. Maybe the tier 3 tech for Impact is what's going to be the factor that breaks Zest.
Yeah, Zest is on tier 3 though as well. Got +3 attack on the way. Impact's upgrades have been pretty good though. Adrenal going to help out a ton considering how many langs he has. Oh, Baneling trying to get into probe line, doesn't quite make it.
Yeah, lots of lings. They are about to have Adrenal. He's going to come in here just before that hits though. And the army of Zest is quite spread out. These Archons are alone. They don't have a lot of friends. But it is hurt.
Hitting before Adrenal. Questionable move from Impact. These lings could have been so much better. He is still pressing the issue though. At least he's keeping his banelings alive. These are going to be very important for dealing with the clumped up units.
Yeah. Impact wants to kind of commit in here, but at the same time, he might get sandwiched between the two halves of Zest's army. He sees the double stargates coming in here though, so he's got to know that Tempests are probably what is going to pop out of those in just a second if he doesn't see them while he's in there, which is going to make him think twice about any Great Aspire nonsense.
Yeah, Great Aspire is done. Haven't seen too much air tech from Impact just yet. He's been concentrating on getting these big, scary Roach Ravager armies out with lots of Banelings. The Lings do have Adrenal now. Zealots evaporating to those Banelings there, and Impact pressing the issue. Is right against the 4th Nexus. Does he right-click on it and make it go down? Actually, his Banelings connecting very well, forcing Zest out of position at the 3rd base to come down and reinforce this. The Banelings killing one of those Archons looks like the Lings could kill the other one at the top there. The Ravagers will do it for them.
Well, looks like Impact is starting to gain some ground here. Zest is forced back into his 3rd base. He needs some reinforcing units to come in. Those Banelings were mostly used on Immortals and Archons, but he was still able to take out a lot of the forces that Zest has on the ground here. Those Tempests are helping out though, because the army can't really deal with that. He's got Biles. Actually, and that's about it.
I think that Impact's in a wonderful position here. His upgrades for his ranged units aren't great at all. In fact, his upgrades overall aren't fantastic. But my god, like, he has a huge army supply, and the tech switch here for Zest into a Tempest actually hurt him a lot because it wasn't ground army to help out against this, you know, to help out the advance of the 3rd and the 4th. That said though, the 4th and the 3rd is still alive and doing a good job here for Zest as he does get those Tempest counts up. Corruptor's coming in for Impact. He's going to get one Tempest here. These Adrenal Lings.
Second one as well. Tempests are not speedy units. The Stalkers and Charge Lots come in, but there's a lot of Zerg here. He did it, Maynard. GG. Impact puts a point on the board.
The Maynard curse has been broken.
Yeah.
Yes.
Got that 1-2 score. He's still alive. He's still fighting.
Lovely game from Impact there. Yeah, like I say again, that tech switch from Zest to go into that late game Tempest, like, what good were those Tempests to do? Like, what... He was ready for something that wasn't there. You know what I mean? There were no Broodlords. It was just Roach Ravager. So. And
I can't fault him for that decision either, because in his harassment at Impact's base, he probably saw the Great Aspire coming in and went, oh, well, I'm definitely going to have to make something to deal with that.
Yeah.
And then when the tech never comes, you're like, well,
yeah, I have these,
wasn't this a fun investment for me?
Yeah, I have these huge supply count units that cost so much money, you know, tickling a ground army. And yeah, the tech switch really giving Impact an opening to just crush the ground army of Zest, and that's it. Gets himself a map on the board. He's not down and out yet. And Zest still on match point though. Potentially just be one more match in this series. We hope it goes all the way to Game 5, of course, because more StarCraft is the better.
Absolutely. I do have faith that he can do it. Impact, like, the way he plays kind of stresses me out, actually, because his army's so gas heavy and he's just like, 40 Banelings, who cares, run him into Archons, and he makes it work somehow. Mind you, his economy, especially mid to late game, was quite good there, so he had the money to power that sort of expendable army.
Yeah, big difference between Game 1 and 2 is that Impact's drones actually got to like the 80 mark instead of chilling around 55, 60. So, yeah, a lot healthier. Also, he didn't have a Protoss killing his 4th base over and over again. It's another small but important detail.
Yeah. I have always thought that Belshir Vestige is a hard map against Protoss because
I agree.
There's so many chokes, and of course, someone like Zest with a lot of sentries and models is just going to give you hell on a map like that. But last map, a lot more wide open and a lot more opportunity for Impact to be a bit more aggressive. So another bigger map here for our 4th game.
Yep.
Axis Valley.
That's right. Huge map here. One of the 2 4-player maps in the Season 1 WCS map pool. Let's get into it. In the top left here, winning the last game on Proxima, this is Impact.
And his opponent, in the bottom left, he is Zest.
All set to become an underwear model if StarCraft 2 doesn't work out for him, but StarCraft 2 is working out so well so far, so lament all of you Zest fans.
Yeah, StarCraft, I think, will definitely pay better for the time being.
It will. I see a lot, you know, it's early game PvZ, so not a whole lot to talk about. I see a lot of people getting worried that, you know, StarCraft Remastered is going to cannibalize what's left of the StarCraft 2 scene in Korea. And I think that actually, you know, there is some warranted fear there because, you know, there is going to be some, like, maybe B and C teamers that switch over to Brood War because they really can't make money in StarCraft 2. But guys, don't be afraid of losing Innovation or Zest or Beyond or anyone that makes the round of 32 of GSL. They will stick around. They have a team. They make money. They're either on a team or they just make so much that it doesn't matter. Like don't worry about it. They'll be okay. There's also things like, you know, Base Trade won the BTSL. There's a Lima League. Twitch Korea runs VSL. There's a lot of great things happening for the StarCraft 2 scene in Korea, so please don't be afraid, you doomsayers, you neggy Nancys, you salty Sallys.
Yeah, exactly. And the other thing too is that most of them are not locked to Korea only anymore. They can branch out and play in other tournaments, and there's plenty of those. In fact, there's almost too many, although you can never actually have too many StarCraft tournaments. Yeah,
there's Korean StarCraft every night for the next week. It's pretty good. Pretty damn good. I mean, I'm counting Brood War as well, but I'm one of those people that watch Brood War and StarCraft 2. I understand that's not the case for everyone. Depth opening here for Zest with 2 gates generally means that he wants to put some hurt on early, and Impact knows this. Overlord chilling over those gateways sees that, making some lings back at home, getting speed up nice and early as well.
Yeah, it's a nice way to switch it up once again. Zest just chucks out a different build every map, and I'm loving it. Makes him so hard to predict, and you're going to have to maybe tweak your opener just a little bit every time you come into a new game against him, because he's going to have something different planned for you. So already we see a bunch of links coming out with the speed there for Impact, knowing that he's going to have to deal with these quick couple of depths, although he's still making more links, so he could potentially get counter pressure.
He could potentially, absolutely. I mean, that is a full wall off with the gateways at the front for Protoss, as, you know, having played them a little bit recently. I've learned that Cactus Valley is probably the easiest map to wall off. That said, though, there is a gap, and the lings do get in, so they're in the main here. Just 2 lings, not going to get too much damage done. I mean, I say that, and then on Newkirk Precinct, I think Impact killed like 2 or 3 probes. So, oh god, Zest hasn't plugged the hole yet. Well, I mean, this is a little bit more annoying. It's still not critical damage, but speed is about to finish, and that's going to make these lings a little bit harder to catch.
Oh, he actually manages to catch one of the Adepts, and he's going to take that out. And with the speed, he can get the second one. Maynard, what's happening?
The hole was not plugged, Zeph, and this is a Zerg that he's playing against. And I tell you what, you leave a hole in your wall against the Zerg, and that is going to be a bad time for you.
Oh, yeah, it certainly is. I mean, what is that, like 6 or 7 probes just dedicated to chasing after lings? More lings coming across the map, too, because Impact's having a bit of fun here, really. Yeah. LOL, you can't catch me right now.
LOL-Kek XD, catch my lings. And he's just flooding lings now. This is like a Diamond ZvP here, where you just hold the Z button. You know what that's like, Zeph. You've done it as well, you dirty Zerg. I love it. Yeah, I know you love it.
1 hotkey's all you need.
Who needs that? Well, I hear Guru does pretty well with, I think he has 2 hotkeys. 1 for hatchery, 1 for army. Bless his soul. Anyway, we have a warp in here. I think those actually are outside pylon range. They might actually cancel that warp in if he kills that pylon. No, they actually do finish. Good. So he is adept shading over to Impact's base for a big attack, and Impact's using a lot of units to harass Zeph, to harass Impact here. And I said harass Zeph. No one harass Zeph while I'm around. I'll sort you out, mate. Oh, we have these Lings doing damage back at Zest Natural. They will unpower these gateways, and the Cybercore, and the Stargate. But there are a lot of depths to deal with here.
Yeah, and these Queens are going to hold their own against these depths for a little bit. The Shade has moved into the main. I'm not sure if he's going to commit to that. So many Lings here. Yeah, he's definitely going to get flushed out, and Impact is looking great in the early game here. Even the Oracle is not doing too much. And look behind this. 12, 13 probes gone down. Impact evens it up to a 2-2. My God.
Oh, baby. We're going to game 5. I'm so excited. You can probably hear the smile on my face.
Six City.
Some mistakes there from Zest. A couple fundamental mistakes there from Zest, giving Impact an opening, and this time, unlike Newkirk, he capitalizes on it and crushes a nerd.
Yeah, I love Impact's early game because he's that sneaky kind of player. He's always got a pocket of Lings somewhere, and any chance he gets, he always tries to do a backstab into Zest's base. And throughout the series we've seen so far, game 1, it went really well for Impact, but the other game, Zest has been able to defend pretty well, and you can see the importance of keeping an eye on your own base while you attack against Impact.
Yeah, I mean,
it was just over.
I can't stress the importance of having that hole blocked there, and it was just a bit of an awkward defense from Zest. He was sort of hit there and here and there. He lost Adepts trying to defend against those Lings. Didn't have too much punch in that Adept army going across the map, and after he lost his pylon, that was an all-in that he couldn't reinforce. He had no follow-up.
Yeah, that just went so beautifully for Impact. I'm impressed. We're going to game number 5. Either one of these guys could be advancing to the finals for VSL right here. Yeah,
this map will decide our first finalist, guys. Make some noise in that Twitch chat. I want to see some all caps. That's the equivalent of chat yelling. I want to see all you guys getting some caps lock out there and dropping your favorite emotes for whoever your favorite player is, because this is some hype jank right now. The VSL Semifinal number 1 between Impact and Zest. This map to decide who will be our first finalist. Such a big deal. Here we go. Honor Grounds. Huge map. The other big map in the pool.
Another good one for both players. Lots of paths to take. Lots of places to harass as well if you've got a Warp Prism. Really keen for this one. Hoping it's a long one. We have loaded in the top left. Here's the Red Zerg Impact.
Ooh, that music though. It's getting me hyped. Chat's getting me hyped as well. I love you, chat. Thank you for catering to my wishes. This is Zest in the top right here. Zest is best? Question mark? You know, there used to be an exclamation mark at the end of that sentence. Now there's a question mark, Zeph.
Question mark, then exclamation mark?
Oh, yeah. Like a really heated question?
Yeah.
Like you're screaming that question into someone's face? Yeah.
That's it.
Getting first scout here is really nice for Zest.
Yeah.
It's always nice on a 4-player map to get that extra information. Impact will also know where his opponent will be pretty early, sending the first Overlord to the correct location, as one does.
Yes, indeed. And he may be able to be a tad annoying and block the third hatchery if he wants to stick around. Not able to do it for the natural this time. But, God, he's even doing the mining trick. That's just like, I thought people didn't do this anymore.
Yeah, no, this is... I mean, if you have the APM for it and it doesn't slow you down, it's actually quite nice, denying one mineral patch for a little bit. So that's going to use Nexus at the back there. And, I mean, how many bits have you bought the Chosen One NL? Because you were just like... I feel like it's like a strip club with just you and me on the stage, and there's just the Chosen One NL at the edge of the stage, and he's just got like...
Private show.
Wads of cash, and he's just throwing cash all over us. I mean, I'd dance, but I don't have any self-esteem. So Pull finishing up here for Impact. Zest again trying to deny a mineral patch, and that's a very early proxy here. I'm feeling Stargate, Zeph. I'm feeling it.
Feeling it in your bones.
Yeah. I think we saw Patience try and do this against Impact as well. Oh, no, actually, this is Hero may have done this in his PvP.
Maybe. I don't know. So many games, so many Paradoses. Oh, we're going to have the Adept come out, and you are right as always, Maynard, it is going to be the Stargate with that proxy pylon. And Impact, with all his fantastic scouting throughout this series, isn't going to see that unless he decides to maybe do a bit of a sweep around the map with a pair of Lings. That's
right. Overlord coming in here, seeing the wall-off here for Zest, getting that Stalker out because he wants to deny that Overlord from having a look-see. Getting this, when you get that Stalker, sometimes you chrono boost that thing out because you can actually get 1 or 2 Overlords if that Zerg's not very good. But this is Impact we're talking about here, and he's a good Zerg, don't get me wrong. Got to shade into the main here to see what's up. Looks like the Adept probably will shade and finish. No, he's going to let it go. Because that's actually, I actually would have let that finish. I would have loved to see that back mineral line for the cost of a single Adept.
We've got a lot of Lings coming out and an early Baneling nest here for Impact. There is only... In fact, that's not even a complete wall off, is it?
No, I mean, Honor Grounds is one of those ramps that's quite hard to wall off. You need you need a few structures to wall it off completely.
Yeah, I think Impact may have caught on to what's going on here. How we see no spores coming down or anything just yet. But what he's seen is nothing. He's seen the wall, and he's seen no tech with the Overlords that he's been floating around that base. So he smells a weakness here. Oh. I suppose the only threat for him is losing a whole lot of
Oh god, and Zest trying to make a third Nexus. Zest, no! This third Nexus is actually killed, not cancelled! And the Banelings are absolutely going to bust through, and Zest, I think he's done for, Zeph. How do you hold against this? I don't even care if his Oracle kills the drone. The Oracle's coming back!
It has to. He's going to unpower these gates, so then there's going to be no more units. The probes are hiding behind the mineral lines. There are so many Lings and Banes left over. Can Zest hold this?
Oh no!
God, it's going to lose so many units.
He's losing so many probes here. Zest against the ropes. His hopes here in the VSL, dashing before his very eyes here, is this big attack from Impact. Goes beautifully for him. He's unpowered. He can't get Warp Gate. He can't get anything warped in at all except for pylons and probes, Zeph.
30 more Lings are on the way, but Zest is starting to hold this with the Oracle.
The pylon.
Oh gosh, he cancelled the pylon. What?
Why? No, Zest.
Zest, please. Oh, you're hurting my soul right now.
Oh no. And Impact's just going to keep flooding Lings here. This is a sure thing for him at this point. What a way for this series to end.
Oh my goodness. Impact, you see him sort of chilling out there in his chair. He's like, I can't believe it just beat Zest. There's just no way he can hold on from here. The probes have got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
Yeah. I want to say Zest is doing his best here, but he really isn't. It's just, he's just processing this loss. He is absolutely dead here. And there's the GG.
Yeah, a bit of tension in that well-chiseled jaw there. Impact takes the 3-2 over Zest, and we'll move on to the VSL Finals. What a fantastic result for him.
Artosis was right. He has been singing the praises of this kid. He actually think he's GSL Finals material, this kid.
Really?
That's what Artosis said, yeah. And look at that. Impact is already going to be in his first final here. This Season 2 of VSL. And who will face him? Will it be Hero or will it be Rogue? It definitely... So, yeah, commiserations to Zest. Bit of a couple wonky games there, but when he was on, he was on. Like, he was looking really good in the games that he won. But, yeah, few games that kind of make you go, huh. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm a little blown away by how that last game went. Like, cancelling the pylon that was about to power up all his buildings, and at the end, I mean, sure, he pretty tilted by that point already.
He already lost like 16 probes at that point when he cancelled that pylon. I mean, even if the pylon finished, I doubt he would have made a much difference, but...
True. Although, like, up until right towards the end there, he was actually even on workers with his opponent. Of course, Impact did have 3 hatcheries, and he had control of the game, but, yeah, that's a rough loss for Zest. Credit to Impact. Fantastic win.
Yeah, really well played, and it's great to see him in a final. You know, the Axiom boys, Ryung and Impact, have really been on a tear lately. I mean, Ryung's sort of been going off the back of his TVTs. We remember his GSL Season 1 run, being the final Terran, the last Terran standing. But kind of fallen off a little bit, but Impact on the rise. Axiom fighting. Axiom will, and you know, obviously Axiom's not on the team anymore, but it lives on in our hearts.
Yes.
Yeah, just like Slayers. Slayers still lives on for me. Right here,
Oh,
right here.
man. OGS
OGS lives on
was
for
my
you?
favorite team
Oh, really?
for a long
I thought
time.
it was Prime.
It
Zeph.
was not Prime. Prime was I took me a long time to get over Marine King, but Prime was not my favorite team. It was OGS followed by Slayers, and I'm still very upset that they're not teams anymore.
Yeah, they are. But you know what? I have a feeling that we'll be seeing some more Slayers players get some damage done in the future. They're still around. They're still kicking.
We need a revival of all the old teams. Get ZenX back.
Tell you what, the
ZenX
first thing,
Beyond.
if I win Lotto and I get $50 million or $20 million, the first thing I'm doing is I'm saying, Boxer, come back to StarCraft 2. We're revitalizing Slayers. Just gonna have a look at some highlights here from this series, which was a real cracker. These force fields from Zest were immaculate. Look at these force fields.
Every time.
Every time.
Just really does not know how to do bad force fields.
Yeah, does not know how to do bad force fields. Couldn't have made it more eloquent, Zeph. And see, even the fungals, the corrosive biles, yeah, kind of connecting, but the big fungal here on the sentries, if he got that huge bile and all those sentries, maybe, but even then, he's lost so many units. And, this is from memory, this engagement goes okay for Zest. Force fields coming into play, but yeah, this is the point where Zest's trying to get Tempests out. You can see it in the production tab, and Impact's just got this huge ground army, and the Tempests do nothing against this army.
Yeah, and this is where we had a couple of Adepts slip on in for a bit of fun, and guess what? Maynard Impact slapped him.
You did, snuck on in there. 2 games in a row where you got to plug that hole and it doesn't get plugged. Well, actually, the fifth game here, yeah, just as I say that, was plugged. It just got torn open by Impact. Didn't even spit on it.
He kind of had a had a cardboard door there, if anything. Impact.
Oh, lovely.
Look at that.
That's so sick. I love that. Good production there from the VSL studios.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually really like the production on their stream. Unfortunately, guys, we do not speak Korean, so we can't translate the interview for you.
Actually, the hardest part is that it's completely muted. They're not sending us the audio for the Korean stream. We get the music and the game sounds, which is really all we need. So, yeah, they run a pretty tight shit over there. I think that the clean feed thing is actually working out quite well.
Yeah, no, I really like it. And it's actually, I know we have some issues with syncing sometimes, but it makes our job pretty easy because we don't have to worry about too much fancy stuff.
It's not been too bad tonight. We've had a couple desyncs, but it hung in there.
It's all gravy.
So, guys, I want to see some predictions in the chat because we're going to do the other semi-finals tonight. That's coming up next. The finals, the grand final is not on tonight. I'm sorry to say. That's next week. But the last semi-final tonight, do you think it's going to be Rogue or do you think it's going to be Hero? And also give me a map score. I want to see some predictions get taken down here in this chat. Got a fair few viewers now by the looks of things that have come to trickle in from when we started.
Here's my prediction, Maynard.
Give it to me.
Hero 3-1.
Hero 3-1?
I bet Rogue's going to make me regret saying that now, but I'm sticking with it.
Oh, I'm gonna say Hero 3-2. I think this is gonna be a close one. I want to see some predictions coming in. I like it. I like it.
You know, it's interesting to see that you guys in the chat there are all calling a 3-0 or 3-1 for the most part, either for Rogue or Hero. Like, no one's really saying 3-2 that much.
Well, I'm seeing a couple clawing now.
Yeah, there's
Sudoku, Pelikas making you look silly. Hero 5-0. That's not how best of 5 works. Heavy person. Yeah. Some Rogue 3-2s. I do think it's going to be a close series. I really hope it does. It goes all the way to Game 5, obviously, as I always do in every best of 5, because more StarCraft is always a good thing. But yeah, I'm feeling it'll be a Hero 3-2. I think that there's going to be a lot of Adepts. Hero's going to make a lot of them. He's going to be very, very abusive. But Rogue, he's a cheeky Zerg. He's quite cheeky. He will He will do a Nidus. He will, and he won't be ashamed while he does it either. He'll do all kinds of crazy stuff. You won't be seeing regular ZvP. I think is my prediction for this series. It's going to be wonky. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be aggressive. It's going to be very action packed, very electrifying. That's my promise. It's my promise from me to you, chat. You as an entity. If I address you all individually, I'll be here a while.
It's like a hive mind.
Twitch is a hive. Yeah, I'm referring to the Twitch hive mind. So yeah, we're gonna have a break coming up pretty shortly when they're done with their interview.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how long the break is. It was 10 minutes last time, so a little bit lengthy, but it's not too bad.
Yeah, it's long enough for you guys to refill your drinks, get some extra snacks, because you got to strap yourselves in for the next series.
Yeah, replenish your extra electrolytes that you would have expended after that last series. That was pretty intense.
Yeah.
Maybe stand up, touch your toes, do some jumping jacks, watch some anime, whatever gets the heart rate up.
Watch some anime. Oh, God. Oh, wow. Well, whatever works for you in your little 10-minute break.
That's right. It's probably not enough time for a ladder game unless you're doing a one base all in.
Unless, maybe you're doing Maynard's Protoss cheese stream.
If you want to get my my charge lot DT one base build, PVZ.
I like the 3-gate void ray you were doing the other day.
My 3-gate void
WCS.
Oh yeah, my PVT 3-gate void bust. That's a free win against a lot of Terrans and Diamond, let me tell you. Goodness gracious.
That is an old build.
It is old, but it's an oldie but a goodie. Yeah. It works so well. I actually turned it into a 4-gate. I added an extra gateway in there. I put my own little flavoring on there, a little bit of extra Maynardism in there.
Ooh.
Just an extra gateway.
The only way to make it cheesier. Extra gate.
Yeah, just a sprinkle of extra gateway in there. The Korean commentator is just making a note there. He's like, okay, Impact hates fish. Let's make sure that he has burgers next tournament.
I'm sure that's exactly what he wrote down. Oh man, Impact looks pretty relaxed. I gotta say, he seems like relieved to be into the. He'd
be relieved if anything. I mean, he obviously doesn't have to play anymore tonight. I'm sure he'll practice a bit when he gets home. It's not late in Korea. It's only like just after dinner time, I think, over there.
It's like 7 p.m. or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, comfy time. It is time to feast though, so maybe these are some hungry nerds right here.
Yeah, they're probably hungry. That's why he's writing down his meal preference.
Yeah, gotta get that menu. I mean, having gotten into the finals, he has actually secured himself a minimum of about $2,600 US. So he's gonna be feeling pretty good about that.
I see my man Wade in the chat. It's my buddy. How you doing, mate? Yeah, see, I actually do smell like I don't look like I smell fantastic, but I actually do smell fantastic. That's a common myth. A lot of people think that I come fresh from a soup kitchen and I smell thus, but that's not the case. Very clean person. Let's have a look here. Just seeing that next series coming up shortly after the break. It's going to be Rogue versus Hero. Impact and Zest. Real nail biter. Got all the way to the game fire there. Down to the wire. Impact clinching it out in the end.
Yeah, that is it. Oh, we'll take a quick break here, guys. Some snacks. Get a drink. Don't go too far because Rogue vs Hero is coming up and it's going to be a good one. Seeing who is going to go up against Impact in the finals.
Yeah, we're gonna get the break up soon. I want to see how long the break is so I can make the timer thing, my little countdown gadget that I got going on here, my countdown app. I'll use it for my stream as well. They have a lot to say.
They do.
Zeph, are you threatened by this lady? Do you think that you're a better caster than this lady?
I don't know. She could like totally blow me out of the water. I can't understand her. We also can't hear her, so
But just look at her mannerisms, how she's carrying herself on the desk. Do you think you're a better desk caster than she is?
I don't know.
No, you have to give me a yes or no. I'm not taking middle answers. You have to give me a yes or no right here, right now. Is she better than you?
Yeah, probably.
Don't probably. Yes or no?
Guess.
You guess? That's not a yes.
I said yes.
Okay, yes. I thought you said I guess. All right, so she is better than you. That's a shame.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. More casts. We'll work at it. We'll get better in time.
She's got the whole mic holding skill down. Like I don't think I could do that. I would be one of those people that like waves it around while they're talking, and
Well,
it
it
doesn't really.
it is a skill that you know, it's something that Korean casters like to have. They have microphones, whereas English casters generally have a headset with a microphone in place. It's just a stylistic thing.
Mm.
Some people eat with sticks, some people eat with a fork. Both kind of get the job done. Just, yeah.
I have to say, I really like their caster desk.
It is quite hot. It's right behind me, behind the corner. Just over there.
Pretty nice. Oh, that's right. You are in the VSL studio
That's
as
right.
we speak.
They put me in a room they call the
sitting in
hot
front of
box. It's completely glassed. It has zero sound, completely cancelled. But it's see-through.
So
They
the
can't
VSL
see in here,
casters
but I
are,
can
like,
see out.
staring at the back of your head, or oh, so it's like a one-way mirror
That's
thing.
right, yeah. Oh, looks like it is going to be a countdown here. So, guys, we're going to take a short break here. Don't go away. We'll see you when we come back.